travel for work.
Amazing.
Yeah, so
Well,
happy to
well,
be here.
yeah, happy new moon. Excited
Happy
to
new
have you.
moon.
And
Yes, thank you.
yes, Taurus new moon, ladies. I
Wow.
will I will speak a little bit to it, but so interesting how my throat last night, of course, before this masterclass. So, by the way, can you ladies see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. You can see like the well, I guess yeah, because I see the green screen where you girls see, I think. But okay. How interesting that this masterclass is all about feminine wisdom and all about essentially the things that I've had to learn the hard way that I'm like, if I can share these codes to more women and also to the younger generation. So to all of us that obviously like, let's say 30 plus, it's still amazing because again, better late than never, right? But if we have daughters, if we're, again, we're surrounded by women all the time. But I do believe, for example, Ari is 20. I do believe that if we can impact the younger generations sooner with this wisdom, these feminine codes, then yeah, it can save you just struggles and hardships. And again, you get to be more of your true feminine essence. So interesting that last night, right as today is this masterclass about feminine power. At the end of the day, girls, it's to reclaim our power as women. And I will tell you what it is to be an empowered woman, to be in an embodied woman, to be in your power. But it's interesting that our voice has a lot to do with that. And literally, as last night, I started feeling a ball in my throat, and I was like, no. So obviously, I had a little talk with my body, but it just goes to show how our nervous system, it's our nervous system is our superpower, okay? But at the same time, it's your biggest protector. So sometimes we say we want love. We say we want passionate intimacy. We say we want money. We say we want, for example, in my case, right? I want visibility. I'm stepping into my voice, my expression, and then my body is like, no, no, no. Is that safe? Like fear of judgment, fear of being seen. Sorry for the dogs if you're hearing these dogs. So it's just interesting that, yeah, this masterclass is about truth, stepping into our power, our feminine expression, being seen, expansion, speaking openly about womanhood and all the subjects that are taboo. Like, we'll speak about sex here because that's been such a big topic my whole life. It still is, but it gotten so much better. And so, yeah, again, this is my body responding to my expansion. It's like this is stretching my nervous system. And one thing I could have done, because let's say my throat was hurting the whole night, blah, blah, I could have moved the master class and been like, you know what, I will wait until I feel better. No, I'm showing my body we are safe, all is well. And then next time it probably won't happen again. But so again, I'm just you give love to the parts of yourself that are trying to keep you small, that are trying to keep you comfortable. Because the truth is your nervous system will choose comfort and familiarity over alignment. So if you're familiar with chaos, if you're familiar with obesity, if you're familiar with mediocrity, it will keep you there instead of expanding you and making you this woman that you know that you are meant to be and that you desire to be. Okay, well, okay, this, where do I go next slide? Here. Today is about remembering who you were, who you are under the noise, under the coping mechanisms, under the traumas, under the wounds, under the labels, under what society has told you to do. So, actually, yes, that's my reminder. Ladies, I will put a timer because I get to, and that's why I made slides so that I don't go on too much tangents. I will put a timer every 15 minutes. The timer will ring, and I will ask you this one question. And I'll invite you to either type it in the chat or, like Meg, because you're driving, maybe unmute yourself and share it out loud. Um, I'm starting the timer now. I will ask you, what is one thing so far that has landed deeply for you? So that's just activating your level of presence and focus a little bit. And then if you have a candle, we're gonna light it together right now, actually. Let's just take three deep breaths all together so that we can kind of sync our energies, even if you're on the replay, even if you're in your car, if you're like Ari's in Costa Rica. So there's different countries here on the map, and all of our nervous systems right now are mingling with one another. How crazy. So let's take a deep inhale through the nose, the deepest exhale you've taken so far today. So deep, deep, deep inhale. A little bit more. And then sigh it out through the mouth with any sound that wants to come out. If there's any movement, shaking your shoulders, shaking your head. We're going to do this two more times. So, an invitation to leave the rest of the day for later, leave yesterday to the past, and be here now in the present moment. So, another deep inhale through the nose. Feel that air in your lower belly, in your womb. Sigh it out through the mouth. And as we light up our candle, make this your intention candle. Essentially, you're declaring, I want you to say mentally, what is one thing I'm ready to either like stop abandoning in myself or that I'm ready to reclaim, to step into? Is it I'm inviting more softness into my life? If you could put one word to it, more truth. I want to embody my truth, speak my truth. More peace. I want to, it would be wordiness, like the word wordy, increasing my wordiness, feeling worthy. My trust is love, something you're here to reclaim, your voice, your intuition, your power, all of it. So decide on one thing. And then as you light up your candle, just think of that word. You can type it in the chat as well. I would love to know your word, or you can say it out loud. For me, it's going to be power because I feel like power encompasses all. And you can light up your candle. And I guess what I'm going to do is when the alarm ring every 15 minutes, I will look at the chat so that I can review, but actually I see it here. Bianca, alignment. Glenda, wordiness. Christine, beauty. Love. Okay. Well, this Taurus new moon energy, because again, some people don't believe in moons, and Aries self-trust. Well, I love that we all have kind of different intention, but they're also powerful. This Taurus new moon energy is inviting us, like it's so potent, it's so aligned with this conversation because it is deeply connected to feminine body, to the earth, safety, worthiness, pleasure, softness, receiving. Ladies, we are designed to receive, slowing down enough to actually heal yourself again, to come back to yourself. So today, my intention on this masterclass for you is that we will be pulling some weeds that are not serving you anymore. You will be receiving many, many codes. And one thing I can do, I didn't want to say it at the beginning because I will share the slides with all of you, but I didn't want to say it because when I say it in the beginning, then people then tend to take less notes. But I also don't want you to be taking notes. I want you to be receiving. Just be in your feminine. Just be present here. Feel as the transmission is being done. Like what codes are you receiving? What is landing? What are you feeling? What is clicking? And you'll have the slides so that you can read through it again later on and take some notes. So today on a new moon is a potent fertile soil to plant new seeds. So after all this new information you'll collect, you'll receive, what seeds do you want to plant to see flourish more of moving forward? So this new moon energy is asking you, what do you truly value? What are you building? What does your body need? And what would it actually feel to feel safe in your own skin. So, ladies, I'm just gonna say it, but it's time to bloom. And so, this masterclass is for the woman who, and maybe this is not you now, maybe you've done progress on that, but if you recognize yourself in some of these, this has been designed for you. And if it's not necessarily you fully, then it's probably one of your girlfriends, one of the sisters in your life, one of a feminine presence in your life that maybe you can then share these codes with them, spread that to all the women that you know. So if you've been overgiving, people pleasing, disconnected from yourself, from any parts of yourself, if you the kind of man also that you choose, or the kind of relationships that you're either in or that you've been in, or the situationships that you're in, also say a lot about you. So are you choosing men that deep down, because that was the story for me personally for most of my life, I would kind of always, and again, we don't take anything from the neighbor, right? Like I come from a single mom. I didn't have father presence for the first years of my life. Also, when I did have a stepdad at 5 years old, he was an alcoholic, and my mom was always kind of like never respecting him. So I never really witness my mom respecting the man she's with. So that also created a pattern of like always having men that were less than me in some type of way. And then that creates an illusion of control, an illusion of safety. So it's like, um, again, do you feel exhausted? Do you feel in survival mode? Do you feel like you're done? Oh, perfect. Alisa is here. Yay. Alisa, welcome, welcome. So good to have you. Are you done performing? Listen, ladies, for 30 years of my life, okay? Because I don't know for you if you know the old Jessie, that's my next slide, a little bit of my story, but I was in the bodybuilding world, IFBB Pro card on stage, half naked, performing. That's fine, Alyssa. We're so glad you're here. And you will have this slide, Alyssa, afterwards. So don't worry, you missed maybe a few slides and just the intro, but all is well. But Alisa, pay attention because in 7 minutes, a timer is going to come up and I will ask what has been landing deeply for you. So either something you learned, either something you realized, either something that clicked. Um, so yeah, if you're tired performing, ladies, for most of my life, I was performing like performing my joy, performing my happiness, performing positivity, performing in sex for the men, performing on stage. I mean, I was performing in a lot of pieces of my life. God, this is so exhausting. Like, you were just here to be. You're just here to be your most authentic expression, but that's okay. We're going to get onto that. But if you've been abandoning yourself, and if you crave more softness, more beauty, more grace, more pleasure, more sensuality, again, more feminine energy in your life, so more softness, more peace, more truth, then this space is made for you. So just wanted to share that because listen, I don't know about you, but I was the good girl growing up. So I was conditioned as the good girl, and many women so we're being rewarded for being agreeable, easy, low maintenance. For most of my life, I was like preaching myself for being low maintenance. Like, what? No, bring on the high maintenance now, which is my truth. So it's like, what has happened to us? I don't know. Self-sacrificing. I had a mother, obviously, that was like the martyr archetype. So again, that you then just witness things and you then mirror that back until you learn and you repattern. So yeah, be quiet, be pretty, be accommodating, please people, don't disturb. And then we've actually been punished to have standards, to have needs, for our truth. When we speak our truth, it's not okay. For our anger, for our boundaries, for our sexuality, for our confidence. So this is the reason why most women have been disconnected from their truth, from their voice, from their body, from their intuition. If you wondered, like, what happened to me? Because I was definitely wondering. So for those of you who were in my life back then, there's like I call her the old Jessie, which is like also that 20-year-old version of me that I speak to in my Instagram lately. So that was like the fitness Jessie. Um, and this is part of my story, obviously, 5 years in the fitness space where everything was about aesthetic, everything was about external looks. And so I was very, very much in attention seeking, validation seeking, looking outside of me for essentially proof that I'm enough. I was the strong woman, independent woman, again, low maintenance. Like, I don't need anything from anyone. I've got me. I've got this. Like, I was like competing with my boyfriends at a time. Like, let's say we would do groceries and there would be grocery bags in the trunk. Like, I would take more grocery bags than my boyfriend. Like, ew. Now I'm like, no, like I only want to carry my purse. Can you carry all the bags? And again, there's things, ladies, that make us more of a woman and that makes a man more of a man. And the truth is, again, I'm all for woman empowerment and being sovereign as a woman being, like having your own back in all ways. But when you come into union with a man, like especially if your desire, which that was my biggest desire for most of my life, that's why I learned so much on that subject, and that's why I went through so much trials and errors and learned throughout the way. But when you seek sacred union, well, first of all, you need that sacred union within yourself to be in well balance with your feminine masculine within you. But then when you come into union with a man, when there's no dependency, no codependency, it's an independent woman with an independent man, two stubborn beings choosing to come together into union and become interdependent, then you actually, I will speak to that later down, but you become, it's like this amplifies everything. This will amplify your finances. This will amplify your radiance as a woman. This will make him more of the man that he's here to be, and this will make you more of the woman you're here to be. This is what sacred union is. Now, there's so much distortions in all kinds of relationships and dating and all of this, which again, I went through so many lessons, which were beautiful. I've learned so much, and it only kept getting better and better. And so, but yeah, that hyper independent, like also the reason why also the funny thing, we say we want love, ladies, but actually this hyper independent, like I don't want to receive anything, we're scared. It doesn't feel safe to receive. It's all about safety. Everything is about safety. I'm going to talk so much about safety today. And look, even my throat now it's funny now that I started the masterclass, it's better now. It's not hurting as much when I swallow. It's not even hurting when I speak. And it's also sound not as bad that it was when I woke up this morning. I was like, God, can I even do this masterclass? So it's all about safety. Remember that. Now, have you been an overgiver? I was an overgiver my whole life. Again, it felt so safe to give at the cost of my own well-being, at the cost of my own self. Like, again, what happened here? But this is like, again, it doesn't feel safe to receive. And as long as we're giving, we're in control. And as long as we're in control, we think we're safe. Long term, though, again, this is not you being in your feminine power. This is not you being in your truth. This is not you resting in your essence. Not at all. It's, of course, these are coping mechanisms that we've developed based on our childhoods, based on our past relationships. But I'll get to the what to do with that in a little bit. But yeah, performing, God, I was performing femininity. I wanted to be such a woman. So fake nails, fake lash, fake this, fake that, fake hair, fake tan, you name it, everything fake, fake tits. I don't want these implants anymore in my body, but you get the point. Like I was performing femininity instead of being a woman, but I didn't know how to be a woman. The truth also is I come from a single mom that was in the military that is also so disconnected from her femininity. So I didn't really, and I had a mom that was the mom and the dad, didn't have sisters. And also feminine energy around me my whole life was feeling so unsafe. Like female friendships, I was often shrinking myself, often shrinking my light, dimming my beauty, dimming my knowledge, my wisdom, because I didn't want to make another woman uncomfortable around me, or because also this is like you fear that it's gonna like your truth is gonna cost you belonging. So your need for belonging is deeper than your need for truth. But let me tell you, I'm 35 now, and my need for truth is much bigger now than my need for belonging. That's why I'm in Peru by myself in the Sacred Valley, and I'm perfectly the happiest version I've ever been, and the most full, and the most real and the most authentic to myself. And this feeling of alignment is so precious. So I will share a little bit more on performing here. I also said choosing chemistry over alignment, disconnected from my own body. Because yeah, when you're perfect, oh, well, let me maybe like, okay, this was a timer. I mean, I feel like I haven't even got into much depth yet. Let me maybe go one more slide, two more slide, and then I will ask you what's one thing that's landed. Okay. So when you're performing, you're actually not being. So when you're being, you're connected to your body. What is alive right now? What is asking for attention? What do you feel? So and then what happened to me also? So there was the old Jessie, the bodybuilder, aesthetic, blah blah blah. Then she flew to Australia, then to Bali, did her yoga teacher training, then flew to Tulum, and then got pregnant. Boom, with someone who she had a lot of chemistry with. God, that ended up being my biggest teacher, the hardest years of my life, my biggest struggles, my darkest days. I was in the mud for a little while there, and then now I'm emerging as my lotus self, and it was about time. But yeah, motherhood is like I always knew I wanted to be a mother. So when I was the seed was planted, I was like, oh, I was happy about it, and I was like so happy that I was becoming a mom. But the truth, ladies, is that becoming a mother brings up to the surface every single wound that you have. All of your shadows come up, and your baby is essentially your mirror for everything. So it's very, very intense. Motherhood has been very intense, especially because, again, you can do it consciously with awareness and with intention, which is what I'm doing. And that's why I believe it's been so much more difficult because I don't want to repeat what has been done to me. I want to break the cycle, which I believe if you're all here, ladies, you are all cycle breakers because you're here like seeking new information, seeking wisdom, seeking, okay, what is something that I can do better? Where is something that I can be better? So yeah, motherhood exposed like every wound that wasn't healed, every pattern that, wow, were running my life and every version of myself that I had abandoned. And really, the one piece of advice I can give anyone before having a child is God, learn your nervous system, learn nervous system regulation, and yeah, know yourself better. And then I have been in survival because obviously I was not with an amazing provider, protector man. I had a child with an irresponsible, unreliable man, so I had to learn the hard way. So there's been a lot of years of survival here, and that was very heavy. Um, and then again, cycle breaking, the patterns deciding, the patterns stop with me. I will not repeat, I will repair from me. And as we do the healing for ourselves, we heal generations behind and generations after us. So it's very, very powerful. And healing, ladies, is simply a return to wholeness. So it's really, we are completely fragmented and split identities and all that. And it's a coming back, like taking all the pieces of you, giving them all love, love, compassion, coming back all in one, but aligning yourself that your thoughts, your words, your feelings, your actions are all in alignment with what you know you desire, what you know you're here to be. So, yeah, healing is just coming back to yourself. And so, I don't know if you've heard about feminine embodiment, if you've been seeing it, but what is feminine embodiment? And a little bit down, I speak to like wounded feminine because again for to have a child with such a man I was in my wounded feminine. I was not in my healthy feminine embodiment self. I was not. And so again, the partners we have or the partners we have had show us where we're at with ourselves. So just so you know, the feminine, because some people associate like femininity to like I don't know, like being pretty and again, maybe being weak. But I want you to see feminine energy like the earth is feminine energy, the ocean is feminine energy. That's why the first image was actually me pregnant, naked with the ocean because we are the ocean. Okay. Feminine energy is the ocean. And so maybe some days we're Bahamas water, but some days we're tsunamis. And some days volcanoes erupt. And some days she storms so loud that is like super scary. And she does that unapologetically. Sorry, my French. My first language is French. But so feminine energy, femininity is not weak. Okay, that's very important to know. A feminine woman, she's not helpless. She's not submissive, dependent, stupid, or she doesn't lack power. True feminine energy is intuitive, life-giving. Like, look at what we do, ladies. We birth souls through our bodies. Like, I just want you to imagine if there would be, let's say that babies would come into this world through a portal somewhere on planet Earth. There would be a portal, and bam, baby come out of there. Imagine what people would do. Like there would be hundreds of people probably like kneeling, bowing, praying, flowers, gifts, chocolates, candies, you name it, offerings from all sorts. People honoring, treating that portal with, oh my God, like such a magical portal. Like this is us. This is our pussies. With my son and with people, usually I call it our yoni. My son calls it yoni. He's like, Mommy, I see your yoni. Instead of calling it like when I was a kid, I was calling it like vagina. And it's like, no, this is a vulva, the external piece. Like there's so many parts to it, but I just love yoni because it's just like the entirety of everything. And it's like the sacred term. But our pussy is that portal. Are we honoring that? Are we giving offerings to it? Are we speaking to it? Are we praying to it? Because she has her own consciousness. There's a whole entire yoni verse inside of you, and your womb is creating life and birthing life. Like, anyways, since I've done that myself, like it changed everything. I was like, wow, magic is real. But so feminine energy is life-giving, emotionally intelligent. Like you have the intelligence of nature, ladies. Think of it as when your baby grows in your belly, you're not telling the body, like, now it's time to grow the eyes. Now it's time to grow the little nails, make the pinkies, make sure it has 10 fingers, 10 toes. No, the body is divinely intelligent. The power that beats your heart, that beats your lungs. Okay, divine intelligence. Feminine energy is magnetic. It's a woman who has feminine energy activated. She walks into a room and everybody notices. And it's not because she has the extensions and whatever. You know what I mean? It's her energy. I don't know if you knew, but Marilyn Monroe, it was not her real name. That was her energy that she was activating within herself. That was, bam, activating her magnetism. So, feminine energy is creative. Again, we create life, but also we birth things into existence. Let's say I birthed this masterclass into existence. I created that. So you create so much. Feminine energy is receptive. Who is receiving something inside of your vagina? Like we are designed, we are receptive by nature. We receive the men inside of us. So they are naturally giving, we are naturally receiving. Feminine energy is discerning. And the reason that we've ladies been so disconnected from our discernment, from our intuition, because after, let's say that the father of my kid, to be honest, after that, I was like, I don't trust my intuition anymore because I had so much chemistry with this man. So I was trusting that this was love. This was my heart. This was real. But the truth is, I didn't know about trauma bonding. I didn't know about, like, because I was also so focused on external validation, I was not in my power. So I was confusing chemistry for alignment. I was confusing certain things for love. And I have a slide on that down there. I'm like going above and beyond already. But feminine energy, yeah. So discerning, and what disconnects you from your discernment, from your intuition that speaks so loudly, so clearly. But what disconnects us from that is our nervous system that is under survival. So you're not in safety. You're not in your center. You're not listening, tuned in, turned on, tapped in. So feminine energy is nurturing and powerful as fuck. I want you to see yourself as a volcano erupting or a tsunami, like. But this would be obviously a little bit destructive. But just see yourself as a beautiful, powerful ocean, okay? And a masculine man is more like the shore. So I want you to see them as like the shore. They're kind of like always there and stable and consistent. Um, See yourself as water. Feminine energy is water. Water is soft, yet it carves through rocks, right? It shapes mountains. And see your womb is soft, yet it creates life. So this is again to not see femininity and feminine energy as weak. It's we are soft, we are graceful, yet fierce. Like the rose. Beautiful. And she has her thorns, you know? So, feminine embodiment is you being connected to yourself instead of abandoning, of performing, of being in survival, of seeking attention, validation, seeking love outside of you. You are a well of love, an infinite well of love. And especially if you've been a mother, I'm a mother. I know, Meg, you're a mother. It's like when you think you're out of love, you're like, oh my God, I have nothing left to give. There's still more to give. It's like never ending. We are an infinite well of love. So being connected to your body, your truth, your emotions, your feelings, your intuition, your energy, your standards, your desires, ladies. The feminine, our feminine expression is it's all about desires. Have you been the thing is also because we've been operating in survival for so long, or because maybe our parents were, or again, our environment is, we're disconnected from dreaming, from desiring, from expanding. And this is what our soul is here to do, to expand. So I like to see it as, for those of you who know me, I like to work with the chakras. I like to, let me move this here so that you see this. Perfect. Okay, wait. Yeah, okay. So wait, let me move this instead and then this. Okay. So I like the chakra systems because they are your seven main energy centers in your body, aligned along your spine from the root, from your tailbone to the top of your head. And they are like seven different dimensions, essentially seven energy vortex, you can call it. And I like to see it as they're the wheels that are carrying your vehicle through this life, and your vehicle is your body. So there are like different levels of consciousness. And so I want you to see your power as a woman in your root chakra. First of all, is your connection to your body, is your connection to Mother Earth. We're so disconnected to Mother Earth. Oh my God, we are made of her. We are her. Our body, our cells, everything is just like Mother Nature. So how often do you plant your hands in the soil? Do you put your feet on concrete, on sand, on in water, whatever, like ground yourself, connect to her? How often do you forest bath, or do you, yeah, beach or river, or more nature? Okay, because that brings yourself back into harmony. Because again, your body is of nature. And now obviously we live in societies where we're so disconnected from our true nature because of all technologies, all the AIs and all the cities and the noise and everything. But your root chakra, ladies, I want you from now on, from today on, to honor your pussy, your vulva, your vagina. Essentially, you have to speak to her from today moving forward. You have to give her love. You can do it mentally. You can, when you, after a shower, you coconut oil yourself, and you coconut oil yourself down there. And you just, again, with love. We've been taught to like shame these parts. These parts are dirty, disgusting, shameful, taboo. Like, don't talk about it, blah, blah, blah. No, this is where your power live as a woman. So reconnect with your pussy, reconnect with your yoni, develop a relationship there. What is that relationship like? And listen to her and trust her. If you've been with a man and you're having UTIs and you're having herpes, or you're having vaginal things happening, your pussy is speaking. She is not liking something there. Maybe it's an energy he's bringing into your body. Maybe she's feeling not respected. Maybe it's going too fast. Maybe, again, connect with her, because this is again a part of healing, of coming back into wholeness, and of coming back into your power as a woman. And she is there essentially to teach you boundaries, to teach you discernment, to teach you um, remember, that's the portal that brings the soul, right? So treat that portal with reverence, with honor, cherish it, honor it. If you want a man to honor it, to go down there and kiss, that song, the ordinary, and then it says, you got me kissing the ground of your sanctuary. So you want a man to literally be honored, to have the chance to kiss your sanctuary. Like, and again, this is where discernment comes in, of like, is this man worthy of that access? This is heaven. So having that reframe, instead of being on the other side of like, oh, this is gonna like me, is gonna, no, it's like, I love myself so much and I'm making him a gift. Like, he is blessed right now by my sacred juices, by my sacred nectar. So that's just your root. Okay, my God, there's so much, but I need to speed up a little bit because we're already like 40 minutes in. But second chakra is your sacral, is your womb, ladies. Pleasure. And now the alarm is going to come up. So after this one, I will ask you what's one thing that's been learned, what's one thing you've learned or something. But your womb, ladies, again, this is your center as woman. The more I learn about nervous system as a woman, because all these nervous system studies have been done onto men, okay? Men bodies, because women, we cost too much money because we have pregnancy, postpartum, breastfeeding, our hormones change, we have our cycle every month. So nervous system stuff had been done with men's bodies. We're completely different than them. We have completely different needs and every day of the month. So your womb is your center. The more you can orient your life from your womb, the more you can place your hands on your womb. Again, speak to your womb. Ask her questions when you don't know what to do. Ask your womb, not your mind. Your mind is so limited. Your mind is wounded. Your mind is, this is where the scarcity live in the mind. The truth is abundance. In the mind, scarcity, insecurities, fears. So, your pleasure. Essentially, women, the biggest thing we need to regulate our nervous system is oxytocin. Oxytocin comes from pleasure, pleasurable things. For example, just like drinking my warm tea is pleasurable. Finding pleasure, and I'm not talking about orgasms. Of course, this is super healing though, when obviously done with love. So, not done self-sacrificing yourself or blah, 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 like, done in a sacred setting. Pleasure is just all the little pleasures, like a soft blanket, like I'm pleasuring myself right now with this new little puppy, like petting this little puppy full of fleas jumping on me. But um, so pleasure. This is part of you reconnecting to your power is what is pleasurable for me? What do I love to do for pleasure? Like how many pleasurable things there is in my day. And maybe it's just like looking at the beautiful flowers. Again, it's reconnecting to these little bits and pieces of pleasure throughout your day. So, okay, I cannot really stop sharing, but can I ask you to either unmute or type in the chat? Well, yeah, I have the chat here. Oh, there's 10 participants now. Okay. Christine said truth over belonging. That's something that hit for you. So, what is something so far that you've either learned, that have landed, that have clicked, that resonated? And the reason I'm doing this is because usually over this whole masterclass, you'll probably leave remembering 5% of all that I shared. So, when we do this, it gets you to anchor in deeper what was shared.
I have my red light mask on, but I just want to, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Everything that you have been sharing, I can relate so deeply. Thank you, Jesse. Like your voice and like what you're sharing, this wisdom is so, so powerful and needed in the world right now.
Thank you.
And for me, it's like, everything from performance, from like being a caretaker, from being, just a woman that has abandoned herself for most of her life. Just, it's been just learning my truth, like really stepping into that power, stepping into that authenticity, having healthy boundaries, like just from the energetic. Now you're sharing from the chakra system. It's all so beautiful, and like honoring our pussy, honoring our womb, like really learning how to understand like our truest and highest goddess. It's really important, more so than ever, as we rise together as a Shakti. And so I'm just really
Right.
so, so grateful for you and your passion to share so beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is just the beginning. I'm going to try to speed it up, but also, like I said, I will share these slides. To be honest, ladies, there was so much more. And last night, ChatGPT was like, listen, this is like an essay. Like this, there's too much there, but it was like you don't have to like dump your whole life of everything there. But oh my God, there's so much I want to share. But so Ari said, treasuring our bodies. Glenda said, we are roses, soft, but with thorns. Beautifully said, Bianca. Agreed. Meg, do you want to unmute yourself and share something so far? Just
No, uh, hello. Oh, yes, definitely. So what you said about receiving, I had allowing in mind, so just receiving and letting go of excuses and obstacles and that kind of thing.
Again, it's easier said than done. That's the crazy thing. Because, for example, okay, for most of my life, again, I wanted love. I said I wanted love. The truth is, my last partner, Ricardo, he was a grounded, secure man that just wanted to love me. And again, I kept looking for cracks, for things, for that, for again to give in love, to do something, to be useful, essentially, instead of just being. So from today on, ladies, I want you to see yourself as flowers, okay? Not bees. Men are the bees, women are the flowers. So many women, the reason why we become the bee, where we chase, that was me, like hunting for my man, like, ooh, this man, I want him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I would perform, like sell myself, to be chosen by him. Oh my God, the poor Jesse. No, no more, no more. So you just have to focus on being your most authentic flower, because what also that does, when you choose, when you force, when you, instead of the divine plan for you, what is aligned for you, when you again overperform, masculine overdrive, first of all, you start a relationship in the wrong dynamic, because you're in the masculine and they're like, oh my God, oh, okay, okay. Like, she's choosing me. He's the chosen one. He's the flower and you're the bee. And how do you think that relationship is going to go from there? God. So, Alyssa said, honoring yourself. Others should feel honored to be with you. Don't self-sacrifice, abandon. Amen. Yes, ladies, it's landing. Christine, I've spent my lifetime in highly male-dominated spheres and industries, and I can tell you from the POV of someone who always overhears their private convos, men love to provide. Yes. Perfect, Meg. No worries. So yeah, the reason, ladies, why we became the bee, okay? Why we chase, why we prove, why we audition for men, why we overperform, why we're in our masculine energy instead of our feminine energy. Why do we fear not being chosen? The wound under all of this, babes, is that we are not trusting that we can just be loved for who we are. It's kind of sad when you think about it, right? Because I'm like, what did my mom did wrong? Maybe it's the fact that I didn't have a dad. Maybe again, like a burnt out mom that was like that had intrusive thoughts of like postpartum depression, suicidal when I was one. Maybe the fact that I was not breastfed. You don't. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know for you what it was, but um, a flower does not question her worth because one bee goes away. She just remains who she is. So that's why it always comes back to like giving yourself that love. And I think what has healed me so much is connecting to a greater power, to something greater than me, and feeling that love. Feeling that love from divine father, divine mother, from universal consciousness to earth's energy and consciousness, like being the result of both these parents, if you can see it this way. This is where you will feel full of love, no matter who, no matter what. And for example, that's the reason now I'm actually not with my amazing lover that was offering me true love for this past year, because I was actually like, you know what? I feel full of love now. I am full of love. And now it's just standards for my life that it's like, I want someone who's going to meet me in these standards, or I want to be by myself. So it's like such another dynamic. But you are a flower, okay? You're not a bee moving forward. So now I was in your sacral chakra, your womb, your pleasure. In your solar chakra, ladies, this is your inner fire. This is your self-worth. And the truth about worthiness, listen, there's books about worthiness and you can read all much and you can do all the things about worthiness. At the end of the day, this can click for you right here, right now, today, and change forever. Worthiness doesn't depend on anything anyone says. Doesn't depend on anything you do. When a baby is born and everybody's like, oh my God, look at this baby. The baby didn't do anything. It's just being a baby. It's just born. So that's you. You are worthy just because you exist. You are worthy because, I don't know, like I'm not religious, but you're a child of God. Like you are creation itself. Everything that exists in nature is worthy of existing. I don't think mosquitoes are though, but anyways, maybe those are man-made. I don't know. Anyways, you get the point. You are worthy. So you just have to say, I'm worthy. I'm worthy. And it's so cute. My son the other night, I was saying that, you're worthy. And he's like, I'm worthy of it all because of a song that we play. I am worthy of it all. Um, so that's a great analogy. Thanks, Glenda. So yeah, your standards, your solar plexus would be like your willpower, your fire, your wordiness. Okay. And so this is where, because you're wordy, you have standards. Like, no, like, let's say if you have I love the book Mastery of Love. Okay. It's like you have a full kitchen, you're abundant, you have so much food. Okay. You have loaves of breads and all kinds of things and all the fruits and all the things. And a guy knocks at the door and is like, I have this bread for you. You're like, thanks, but I already have 10 loaves of bread. So what else do you have to offer here? Like good energy, like I don't know. So when you're full of love already, when someone comes to offer you love, you're like, I'm good, thanks. So this is where your standards come and play. Like, what life are you here to live? Where are your desires? What are your desires? And anchor into your desires. Because again, Jessie has a lot of desires, and my nervous system keeps like keeps pulling me back, because also the more you want to leap forward, the more your nervous system will try to like suck you back into like, no, 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 let's stay where we know, let's stay in the comfort. But it's like, no, we're expanding here, we're growing. Like, so you're doing it with your nervous system. And the way I like to see it, there was this reel on Instagram of like a little boy and a mannequin man, grown-up man, like mannequin, and the little boy, and they're both on the runway, and they're holding like the big guy is holding the little boy's hand. So it's like yourself and your inner child. And you can see it as like your adult self that has all these big dreams and yearnings and desires to experience in this lifetime. And then your inner child, like your nervous system, that is like stuck at where you were wounded. So it's stuck at, let's say, your 5-year-old self, your 8-year-old self, your 10-year-old self. And then you're making then decisions and this and self-sabotage from that energy. So, and I love how they're just walking on the runway and the little child is like bawling his eyes out, but he's just going for it because the adult is like, if we're walking. So it's kind of like that. You have to just go for it. It's not because some people, sometimes you see someone courageous, someone brave or whatever, or like, oh, wow, this woman. No, we feel fear. We feel fear and we go all in anyways. We go face on. I mean, I'm Aries, so maybe that's an Aries thing as well. I often also bump my head and then have to realign. But your heart, ladies, your heart, I said your womb is your center as women, the more you can orient from your womb. I love to place my left hand on my heart, my right hand on my womb, your left receive, your right gives. And I like to, this is how I center myself. This is how I make decisions. This is how I think. This is how you tune in also with your body. And your heart, the fact that your heart, so, the earth's energy goes through your lower chakras towards up, liberation energy. And then the universal energy, the cosmos energy comes down through your crown, down through your chakra. So that's the manifestation energy. When you want to manifest something like, oh my God, I'm craving a lemonade. It's just in the invisible realm. I'm thinking about it. Then you can visualize it, then you can speak it, then you can feel how it's going to feel like. And then it comes down to your center. And at the end, it's in matter. So that's the current of manifestation. But the gateway of these world, of both of these energies, is your heart space. When your heart is guarded, shielded, because you've been hurt. We've all been hurt. Everybody has a story from childhood, from teenagehood, from young adulthood, from betrayal, from, oh my God, everybody I speak to, everybody has a story, okay? Some are worse than others, but we all have a story. Our heart has all the reason to close, but I like to see our heart as a muscle. When you go to the gym, you're destroying your muscles. Your muscle fibers are like ripping apart. And what makes you getting stronger and more resilient and more endurant is that after the gym, you nourish and then you rest and then you recover. And next time you go, bam, you can push a little stronger. So destroy again, nourish, rest, recover. Go back to the gym, stronger, bigger, more resilient. So every heartbreak was just a workout for your heart. It doesn't mean stop working out, okay? You are here to love. You are here to be loved. And especially us women, there is a slide about like the battery effect of like a man and a woman in yam-yam position. Essentially, your gift as woman is to be love, to be a heart on 2 legs. But that doesn't mean, okay, I will open my heart to love. That doesn't mean I have no boundaries, because that's the mistake I did for most of my life. I wanted to be this unconditional love. But then it's like, why am I receiving rocks? Why am I receiving cuts? Why am I being stabbed in the back while I'm just loving? Like, why? But Jesus also was just loving and then got like stabbed on a cross, right? So that also shows you, don't like sacrifice your life for love. have healthy boundaries. So a queen in her power, in her energy is my heart is blasted wide open. I love openly and deeply. And I love you and I love me. So I'm unavailable for this. So thank you. Bye. See you in another lifetime, maybe. So, or see you when, this match my level of respect, my level of boundary. Because a quote, ladies, that hit me so strong was, you don't get what you want. Because I've been very clear my whole life about what I want. And I was like, why am I not getting it? Because you don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate. And I've tolerated so much because also I was always in it for the potential instead of the what is right here, right now. So no more potential, all what is here and now. Okay? We're not tolerating anymore. We're not here for breadcrumbs. And like, remember, you have a full kitchen full of food already. So it's like, not looking for food. We're not looking for love in partnership. You're not looking for love in a man. A partnership, a union is here to amplify you. It's not going to bring chaos and stress to your life. It's going to bring peace. It's going to amplify. Again, you're going to get to be more of a woman because you have a man in your life that is a real man. Your bank account will grow. Your beauty will radiate more because you get to rest more. You get to delegate to him. He gets to do the hard thing. You get to do the easy thing. This is why we're in union, not to get perished. Like if your beauty is perishing, if your nervous system is dysregulated around, like it's not the one. Run. If your bank account is draining, no. So your heart, coming back to the heart space though, because I was someone who was so open with love, but so funny, not able to receive a compliment, a gift, without feeling discomfort. So and this is again the wound of worthiness and also like a lack of safety around receiving. Like just rewire these patterns. Again, easier said than done, I know, ladies, and there's so much I want to cover here, so I'll have to move forward. But throat, speak your truth. Anything about throat usually has to do with expression, and we've been silenced. So no more silencing your truth. But down also I have a slide on the art of feminine communication. So again, we have to be the wise woman because our truth can burn a whole village down, can burn people. You don't want to destroy people with your truth. You want to speak life with your truth. So there's a way to speak your truth and still inspire life instead of destroy life because your word is so powerful. Again, I don't know if you've ever heard abracadabra means I create as I speak. Oh, and I hadn't done the timer. My God. I create as I speak is abracadabra. So abracadabra. So you create every time you speak, you are casting spells. That's why it's called spelling. So when you say something with the power of your words, with your intention and with the air, with the breath, you're actually speaking things into existence. So watch your words from today moving forward, but also speak your truth. And so intuition, your third eye is seeing beyond what your two eyes can see, is being connected to your inner knowing. Why are we disconnected from intuition? Because our nervous system is completely out of whack because we've been, again, overperforming, disconnected, we're exhausted, we're not in our center, we're not resting enough, we're not pleasured enough. Like we're not doing the right things to be in our power as women. So crown chakra, your connection to something greater than you. There's a greater power at play. There's, again, nature, harmony, life, connected to life. When you're connected to that, a woman shines differently when she's connected to that because she gets a level of inner peace that nobody else gets. If you don't have that connection to this greater power, you don't have that level of inner peace. You don't have that level of like, everything's working in my favor here. Like life is working for me. Everything's happening for me. So what am I learning through this? And there's always this feeling of like completely divinely guided and divinely protected. So crown chakra. Okay, this is what I was talking about. A dysregulated woman cannot hear her intuition clearly. Survival mode disconnects you from what makes you the most powerful. What survival mode steals you from your softness, your magnetism, your pleasure, your receptivity, your self-trust, and your intuition. So I did say that. So some women, okay, because I used to think that, some women think that we're bad at being feminine. But really, we're just exhausted. over masculinized, anyways, and heartbroken, under supported, overstressed. So you get the point. This is not that we're bad at being feminine. It's just kind of like life, society, conditioning, patriarchal. It's like, how can I be a woman in all of this? So this is to remove shame. Obviously, this is not on you, but now that you will know, so this is for you to understand, like maybe self-sabotage pattern or procrastination, or you shutting down, or you people please, or you fearing being seen, or pushing love away when you say you want the thing most and you're actually pushing it away, or you're attracting the opposite of what you say you want, overworking, struggling to receive, shrinking, staying stuck. So dysregulated nervous system often chooses familiarity over alignment. I said that at the beginning, remember? So the truth is, when you're always in a threat response, when I don't know if you know the four response of the nervous system: fight, flight, freeze, appease. So flight would be I smoke weed, I drink alcohol, I like frivolous shopping. You're flying, you're not. Freeze would be like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do. There's so much to do. I don't know. You're just completely frozen. Appease, that's usually the lover archetype. You're just like, this is like, no, 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 no. Yeah, no, I didn't mean that. Da, da, da. Like appease, you're just trying to like appease, because again, you're so scared. It's like you're in survival, so you're just trying to appease. And then fight. That's me. Because usually there's four main archetypes in men and women. Men, king, magician, warrior, lover. And women, queen, lover, sorceress, and warrioress. So you usually have like a dominant one and a predominant one. So for me, it's queen and warrioress. And the four archetypes have their shadows and their light, obviously, but they have their nervous system response. So my dominant one is the warrioress, and the nervous system response to that is fight. So for me, it's like I get like I snap, I get aggressive. Yeah. So that's like, oh, someone else is joining us. Little late, but better late than never. Hi, Ali. Alisa shared about mosquitoes. If mosquitoes didn't exist, Antarctica would cut out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, exactly, Alisa. I do believe that everything is here. I wish mine was fight. Oh yeah, Lisa, you freeze. You freeze based on the conversation we had. But it's okay because ladies, this is again, it's so, I mean, easier said than done. But it's very simple. It's not complicated to regulate yourself. It's not complicated to return to your body. It's this really simple, simple thing, simple practices. It's just a matter of doing it. So, yeah, your body cannot access the deeper intelligence that lives within you when when you're not regulated. And the way I like to see nervous system regulation as well is like when you're dysregulated, which again, when I started learning about nervous system, which is just kind of like 2 years ago, which I wish I would have known before being a mom. So when you're dysregulated, which I was like, wow, I think I'm dysregulated like 95% of my days. So you're operating out of survival. You're operating from the back of your brain. You cannot be compassionate. You cannot speak with love and be love when you're in survival. You're operating from back there inside the brain. It's like what's alive. So this is where fight, flight, freeze, appease. You have to come back here. How do you do that? With regulation. Once you're here, you can speak from love, empathy, compassion. So regulation is not a luxury. It's the foundation of your feminine power. Now, maybe I'm going to start skipping slides because there's a lot of slides. Where are we at with time? I said that we would get like finished in 15 minutes. Are we still like, are we enjoying this? Like, can you give me like a little something in the chat? Like, should I keep going? But I think I'm going to go because I'm trying to speak fast to go fast so that I can get through everything. But okay, Ari says, yes, we're enjoying. Yes, we're loving. Okay, because that can also be a lot, so I'll do my best to wrap that in the next 15 minutes. So your body, ladies, is your ally in this lifetime. Okay. And I say that, and it's still also, thank you, girls. I love that. Okay, keep going. Yay. Um, we're so, again, I'm tired, and this is me. I'm tired, coffee. It's like I'm borrowing energy for tomorrow, but essentially I'm doing the same thing tomorrow. So then you're just crushing your adrenal glands, and you end up paying for it later. So when your body, so again, learn your body, listen to your body, all the symptoms that your body are, all the pains, the discomforts, the this, the that, the headache, the da da da. It's all messages. Your body's trying to communicate. It cannot speak in words, so it's going to speak in sensations. And then if you're not listening to the little cues, eventually it's going to scream. And this is when usually when people get big diseases or illnesses or massive things, even accidents, things like that. It's like, hey, I've been asking you for rest. You didn't give me rest. So, well, now you're forced to rest. Have a broken leg. So you're going to be horizontal for 2 months, you know? So again, listen to your body. Your body knows, okay? Also, for most of my life, let's say that, you know, I'm with a man, he wants sex. I don't want it. But I'm like, be the good wife, the good girlfriend, the good this, the good that, like, you know, do your duty as a woman. Again, this is kind of what I had been taught from my mom as well, which is so crooked actually, because it like sex is supposed to be for our pleasure, you know, and I was doing it for the men. Like, anyways. But so when women override their intuition, when women force relationships that are not aligned, friendships, relationships, when women abandon their nervous system signals, when women intellectualize, I've done that my whole life, intellectualize red flags. Oh, but you know, like you can, you know, if you love him, if he heals that, if he does this, if he does that, if he stops that. God, red flag, turn around. There's a perfect match for you out there that's going to be just, again, I believe every relationship is going to be work at some point, of course, because it's like life is not perfect and there will be challenges, and then in union you're meant to like support one another. But anyways, you know, don't ignore the red flags, please. I've done that my whole life. Women disconnected from their bodies. So again, trust that your body knows better than you, than your little mind. Okay, so trust that. The feminine body whispers before it screams. Your anxiety was often your intuition speaking before your mind was ready to listen. So our body usually, let's say at the end of a relationship, like your body's already done, but then like in your mind, you're like, no, I don't think it's done. Like I've done that so many times. So I was like, no, I don't think it's done. I'm dragging the relationship when it's like my body doesn't want this anymore. Like it's I'm already checked out. So again, trust your body. Your emotions, they're not weakness. We've been programmed in society to be like, oh my God, you're so strong. You're going through all of that and you're not crying. Like, you know, in my family, it was like, nobody's crying. You know, you're strong for not crying. It's like, no, you're fucking strong for feeling your feelings. This is what strong is. This is what being in your power is. Mother Nature reigns, she storms, she suns, she whatever. We are nature. And the more you suppress, and essentially also the more overweight you're carrying on your body, it's all protective layers that your body is accumulating because it's not feeling safe in the first place. Why is it not feeling safe in the first place? Because you're disconnected from it. You haven't been listening to it. You haven't been addressing what needs to be addressed. So it's always a return to safety. And all these layers of fat, of pounds that we're accumulating, essentially, when you start doing the work, it starts to release what no longer serve. We're safe to release. We're safe to let go. We don't need to carry all of this anymore. But also you have to feel your feelings, because when you feel it, you heal it. So your emotions are data, are information. Again, your nervous system, body, your body symptoms, I talk about it. Now your cycle, God, you ladies, for most of my life, I saw my cycle as an inconvenience. Your cycle is your power as a woman. You know, obviously we wouldn't have been designed with this if it wouldn't be like in our advantage. So again, what has killed us is patriarchal system, like jobs that are designed around men's systems. Like I want you to see from today, like the moon, like the men with the sun, the men are the sunshine. Men wake up every day just like a sunrise. There's a variation and, you know, a little sprinkle of difference from it. But they wake up every day, they're hard, they're ready to make babies every single day of the year. They could make 365 babies a year if they would want, and actually probably even more if they would do it more than once a day. But us women, we are like the moon. Every, like today is a new moon. In 2 weeks, she's going to be full. 2 weeks later, she's going to be new. And then there's all the in-betweens. She fluctuates every single day. We are like that. We go from summer, which is our ovulation, to fall, which is like, for me, first week of luteal is like, get away from me. Everybody give me space. Like this is for me where I feel the biggest drop. The more you know your cycle, the more you understand, you stop seeing yourself as like, what is wrong with me? You stop shaming yourself, blaming yourself, again, working against yourself, against your nature. And you start understanding and being like, okay, this is the phase I'm in. Oh, I'm noticing now every time I get into my winter, this is what I need. Okay, so let me preempt that next month. So I'm glad that right now I'm in my spring. So that's why also when you plan masterclasses or when you plan projects, when you make decisions, plan around your cycle, ladies. Like this is how we're designed. And see it as a superpower. There's a book actually called Wild Power that is just about the woman's cycle. And a girlfriend of mine was actually reading the book in Tulum and she was telling me, like, when you bleed, actually, the reason why we're supposed to be isolated, winter mode, hibernation, stillness, is because this is our most potent time where we're the most connected to the universe, you can call it, to source. This is when you can receive the most potent downloads. This is where you can make blood spells. You can offer your blood to the earth, and then the earth actually then knows what's going on. It's like, I don't know if you know, like when you plant your own seeds in your own garden, like there's things you can do. I think you put your saliva or there's something that you can do that then gives the information to that seed or to the dirt or to the earth, like what needs to grow in order to whatever. Again, nature is mind-blowing, mesmerizing, so powerful. Now, ladies, rest. Rest is magnetic. A rested woman radiates differently. The trap that we've been living in is hyper independence, overfunctioning, always on chronic exhaustion. How many women are burnt out? How many women are stressed out? So the truth is, rest is safety, signal safety to your body. I'm allowed to rest. I'm worthy to rest. Safety is where magnetism lives. So when you stop performing and start receiving, ask for support, ask for help. For me, my biggest journey through asking for help and support, which was so uncomfortable, was when I was pregnant. I actually couldn't do all the things I used to be able to do. I was like, oh God, this is so uncomfortable. I need to ask for help now. But ask, and you shall receive. And then watch how good it feels when you're like, oh my God, someone gets to do this for me and I get to rest. What? So this is when you stop chasing and you start attracting. Because ladies, if just working hard and doing more would give you more, there's a lot of freaking people on this earth that would be very, very wealthy. So we don't get more of what we want by doing more, by overperforming and overfunctioning. This is not why we get what we want. It's by aligning, by being just as much as doing. That your actions, when you speak, it's so intentional. Because again, when you speak, you're casting spells. So it's very intentional. It's precise. It's giving direction. And your actions, same thing. So when you rest, you allow everything to kind of fall back into place. When you meditate, it's like, you're taking a thing, let's say that you shake like that. Okay, that's going to be the question. You're taking a thing that you shake, that like blurs everything, and then you let it still for like 5 minutes, and then that's what meditation is for our mind. And listen, I'm terrible. I don't meditate, but I meditate sometimes, but I know I need to do it more. So what I'm sharing with you is all the most important codes, but I'm not sharing it from a place of like, I'm perfect. It's a work in progress over here. Okay. But a regulated baby, you want to say hi to the ladies? This little puppy from the street of Peru. Okay. So a regulated woman is magnetic because she's present. And this is what also this new moon energy is teaching us, that rest, beauty, pleasure, softness, nourishment, they're not luxuries. They're just part of our feminine health. And now I will stop talking for a minute and I will invite you to share something that's landed, that's clicking, something new. You can unmute or you can share in the chat and I will read it. I don't know how to pop the chat from here.
I like what you said about the 4 seasons and the cycle of the moon, how we're not always consistent like men.
Yes, because listen, this is the biggest thing that women also tell me as well. Like, I just want to be more consistent. And the truth is, you need to be consistent within your cyclicality. Be consistent within your summers, within your spring, within your fall, within your winter, but don't try to be summer every day of the month. This doesn't make any sense. You're just not there. And as your cycle changes and fluctuates, you have different needs, different kinds of nourishment, different kinds of social needs. You know, when you're in your summer, you're like, bring me on a hot date. Let's socialize. Let's go out. Let's do something. Let's go see people. And yeah, when you're in your winter, it's like, no, 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 no. Also, you're extremely more sensitive. Giving ourselves grace and planning based on our cycle. Yes. Yes, Ari. Anything else, girls, that is lending, that is resonating? But yeah, you go through the 4 season in 1 month. So imagine also how many, first of all, how many women are disconnected from that. Imagine knowing that as a teenager and just being like, hey, girl, give yourself some grace. Like, you're in your fall right now or whatever. I'm very new to nervous system regulation. I had no idea about it until recently. I'm still learning how to handle it. Beautiful, beautiful, Alyssa. Yes, I'm glad that you're discovering that at 25 because I discovered at like 33, a little late. But again, better late than never. So, again, like I said earlier, I want you to see yourself as a flower from now on, not the bee, right? So, you as a flower, you root deeper into the truth of who you are. You don't shrink, you don't perform. You're grounding yourself in who you are. You're nourishing yourself, filling your cup. You're tending to your beauty, to your radiance. Like, what do I need? And then because you're filling your cup, because you're doing things that bring you pleasure, because you give yourself pleasure, because you're filled with pleasure and oxytocin all the time, you're blooming, you're radiating, and you're also being unapologetically yourself. And what that does, naturally, you attract from that space and you attract what is meant for you. You repel what is not. You've seen magnets, ladies, like two magnets that is like, bam, and then you flip them around and it's like, so, I mean, you're going to repel some people and it's okay. And you're going to attract your people. Just be more you. So, that we talked about that. So, stop abandoning yourself to be loved. I used to confuse attention for love or attention for value, even. I thought I'm more valuable because a lot of men want me. No. Oh, garbage. Someone noticing you is not the same as someone choosing you. Okay? Yeah, baby. Come. Chemistry with compatibility. For me, I was feeling chemistry with a man. I was like, wow, it's so rare I feel chemistry. Like, that must be it. And it was like trauma bonding, essentially. Lots of lessons coming your way. So the spark you feel is not always a green light. Sometimes it's just trauma response. And again, ladies, for me personally, I don't know about you, but I've been given my body to men so easily. Like, again, when there was chemistry, like right in the beginnings, I would just like go for sex, okay? And then I would think, well, the earlier you go for sex, the more you know if it's like really meant to be or not, blah, blah, blah. Again, all the blah, blah, blah from wounded feminine speaking, not from embodied divine feminine, because who here wants a man of integrity? Who here wants a man that is saying all the freaking right things? Yes, please, but also doing everything he says he's gonna do, doing everything he says. Or he says things about himself, and then with time, the character reveals itself, and you're like, he says this, but he does that. But he says this, but then he does the opposite. But then he says this, and then that never happens. So only time will tell. So please, that has been my biggest lesson. Do not give your body to a man that hasn't revealed his character. So you need to give it some time. And one of my one relationship, I remember thinking, yeah, but if we wouldn't have had sex, because I also knew deep down that if I have sex with the man, he's going to want to stay with me or he's going to want me. Because again, right, I was performing, I was doing it for the man. I was like, being his everything. My goal was to be his best experience of his life, right? Nothing in this for me other than again the experience of control of like I'm essentially then now he's hooked, right? But he's not hooked for the right reason. Like I want sacred union, I want devotion, I want marriage, I want family, I want purity, I want the highest of the highest. So again, that approach was not it because if I believe that if I'm not giving him sex, he's not gonna continue pursuing me, then that's not it, ladies. That's not it. Because if he's in it for the sex, then trust me, then when you're gonna have a baby with the guy and you cannot have sex for 8 weeks because you're bleeding, ripped open, and la la la, and milking, and you don't understand what fucking life is, you need a man that's with you for beyond your pussy, for beyond what he's getting from you. Okay? So that has been one of my big lessons. And yeah, chaos. My nervous system was addicted to chaos. Again, I grew up in chaos, addicted to chaos. So you'd think I was confusing chaos with passion. But I love the quote of like, don't go for the firecrackers or don't go for the fireworks, go for the fireplace. Because the man that is meant for you will make your nervous system feel like honey. So also, like personally, I was shrinking around women my whole life, dimming around men when there would be women. I was shape shifting. I was abandoning my intuition, betraying myself for belonging. So for years, what that means is I didn't feel safe being fully radiant, being fully in my power, because I would fear like that I'm going to be hated, rejected, judged, envied, or abandoned. So a lot of women have that wound. If I shine too much, I'm going to lose belonging. But why we're here today, ladies, and what I love about sisterhood, about women coming together, is that, and also remember, like, so many women are like drowning in wanting male attention, male validation, in lust, in options. But what we're truly starving for, what we're yearning for, is emotional safety, consistency from the man, leadership from the man, reverence. We want him to treat us like reverence, to worship us. We want a man who's going to treat us with devotion. So a woman starving for validation will confuse attention for love, which was me for most of my life because I was so starving for validation because I was not giving it to myself. And I was so disconnected from my power that I was confusing attention for love. And also I was just believing all the yippee, yappy, yappy that men's were doing. So I want you to know that I talked about our womb and you received a man, right? Who receives the dick inside? Us. So we are the receiver. Our womb receives the imprint for 7 years of what has penetrated it. So please be more mindful about what enters it. I only learned that when I was in my 30s, but I wish I would have learned that when I was a teenager. So a woman's body, heart, and nervous system are very sensitive. And we are more sensitive than men because we're the birther. We're the one that holds life in our bodies for 9 months. So our sensitivity is increased. Our intuition is increased. We're more powerful in that way. Men have their own power that we don't have. That's fine. We're designed different. But because we are more sensitive, we need more discernment, ladies. So we absorb, we receive. People's words affect us, people's touch, everybody that touches you. Leadership, a woman thrives when she feels safe enough to soften. So the truth, which never happened to me, to be honest, is I was never with a man that I trusted his leadership. It's like I always trusted my leadership more than his leadership. So now that's my issue. Why am I then choosing men that I don't trust their leadership? But I touched on that at the beginning because then that gives me an illusion of control. I stay on top of it. So I'm like, I cannot be left. I cannot be, heartbroken. I cannot, blah, 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 right? I'm in control of this situation. But really deep down, we yearn to surrender. We yearn to soften. We yearn to, again, rest in our feminine essence. When it comes to union, I'm saying. So please go for a man that you're going to feel his leadership. You're going to feel like he can lead you further than you can lead yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. Your environments affect you, ladies. So trust your nervous system, trust your body's response, trust your feelings. When you're in certain places and you're not feeling it or something's off, your body is telling you it's protecting your peace. So something is not aligned here. Emotional energy, you absorb the emotional states of people around you. So proximity is powerful. Be more mindful. Like if I could tell one thing to my young self is I was just giving myself to everybody and anybody. No, but I was doing it out of love. Again, I was like, I know I'm benefiting these people. I know I'm inspiring these people. I know I'm giving to these people value, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, what isn't it for me other than just like feeling like always I'm giving, I'm giving, I'm giving. It's keeping me safe. That was my method to stay safe, right? So nervous systems, every room you put yourself in, every people you put yourself with, their nervous system state will affect your nervous system. So just see yourself as water and how water can be contaminated, right? And that can become toxic. So a woman must protect what enters her. You are the gatekeeper of what enters your world. Even on Instagram, even on your TV, even from your phone, messages, block, disconnect, unfollow, no more news, no more this, no more that. Like music, that song makes me want to cry. Like remove. You don't want to cry? I mean, unless you're feeling sad and you want to cry, but so you must protect what enters you, because again, the man will enter you with whatever energy he's carrying. If a man doesn't enter you with intention, just like a temple, imagine you are a temple. A man that goes into a temple in India will enter the temple with reverence, will bow, will do all these things. So it's like, again, like he'll be clean, he'll be dressed for it. Again, is the man clean? Is he intentional? Because if he's using you to discharge his stress of the day, guess who's going to receive that stress? And then guess who's gonna magnify that, amplify that in his world, in your world? We receive and we amplify, we multiply, we magnify. This is the feminine power. This is the feminine energy. This is the gift. For men, essentially, usually it's like, you want more money? Again, treat your woman right. You want more peace? Create heaven for your woman and you'll have peace. Again, it's always like we multiply and we amplify what we are being given from the men. And that's why now I want you to picture yourself like your womb or your yoni as a plug in the wall. Like this thing is the man penis. We're the source. We're the wall with all the energy of the whole world. We are the source. And they're like, let me plug into that source. It feels so good. And so again, the wrong man will drain your life force energy. The right man, there will be, the next slide is the battery effect. This is when you are with the right partner, because we are like we are women and men are like a battery, you know, a battery with the positive and the negative. And you know, when you put batteries inside like toys and stuff like that, it has to be in a specific like positive there and negative there. So our positive, ladies, is our heart space. That's why our heart is so important for us to be connected to our heart and to unshield it, remove, dissolve, melt the walls around your heart so that you can feel life more deeply. You might cry more, you might scream more, but again, you feel you're alive and you can feel more love for everything around you, for yourself and everything around you. And so men, their positive charge is their dick. Their dick is positive. So again, their dick, you can see it as like my ex, I used to call him like his magic stick, you know, like his healing stick. It's like it's a healing wand. You can see it this way when used with that intention. When the man is connected to God, to source, to life, to something greater. When you have a conscious man, when you have an intentional man. And these are the things I wish like my mom would show up to this masterclass, because my mom to this day is with women. Imagine, she's so done with men, she's so hurt by men, she's so over men. But it's sad because again, she's not learning the things, she's not doing the things, she's not doing the work to take the walls around her heart and feel, and also reconnect like safety to her nervous system, to also then reconnect her intuition, her discernment, to then go for better men. She's just always been with losers, and she's always been with disconnected men, and men that would just shoot her all in her, their chaos, their stress, their worries, their you name it. There again, they were always like problems, right? Financial problem, stuff, problems at work, problem there, addiction problems. What do you think you're receiving? So again, let's be better gatekeepers, ladies. So there's so much more I want to say here, but I'll keep it at that for now. The right relationship will multiply you, your peace, your softness, your radiance. Again, when you're in a healthy relationship, because remember, ladies, we need oxytocin, we need pleasure, but we need and we need bonding. The truth is we love to bond, but it's just like, let's be more mindful with who we're bonding with, right? After knowing all of this. And then this is so important for relationships. Something again I learned in my like after the father of my kid, which I was like, wow, that would have saved me a lot of arguments. The art of feminine communication. Again, sorry, the puppy just fell. Okay. So this is not manipulation, but this is definitely like being wise, you know, like just speaking a little bit more before you, thinking a little bit more before you speak. And again, remind yourself always like, am I going to speak life or am I going to destroy life? Am I going to create life or destroy life when I say these things? So the art of feminine communication essentially is very easy. It's instead of being like, you've just been on your phone this whole day, like, you know, it's like I don't exist or la la la. Like, can you like, what is it on your phone? Are you watching? You're watching other girls, like, blah, 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 right? For example, and that would not be the art of feminine communication. Example number 2, my love, I miss you. I miss us. I feel like disconnected lately. And I've just noticed you've been a little bit more on your phone, and that just makes me feel so, yeah, disconnected from you. I would love more intimacy. I would love more connection. I would love for us to look at each other in the eyes. Like, I'm feeling a need for more connection. And sometimes being vulnerable will actually make you cry. Like, you'll cry, you'll be like, oh my God. And it's okay. This is speaking with your heart open. You need to keep your heart open. I need to plug my plug into the wall now. So I see something in the chat. Let me read. So a man will naturally be inspired to rise into his masculinity, to serve, to provide, to protect, but it's how has it been shared with him? If it sounded like the example number one, this is when defense come up, walls come up. It creates more disconnection. It creates more space between you guys instead of creating more closeness, more intimacy. And again, that will depend on the kind of man that you're with, of course, but with you with a great man. Oh, I love that, speaking life versus speaking destruction. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, ladies, at all time with our words, we're casting spells. We're either doing black magic or white magic at all times. It's like, am I, yeah, it's like, is it but the thing that for most of my life, because I was the good girl, right? So because I was a good girl, I never was saying, for example, like, fuck yeah, to like someone I really wanted to say that, because I was like, no, that's mean. So I was also suppressing so much of my volcano, so much of my truth, and like swallowing so much of it, which then was making me unwell. So it's like outside, like the peace is there, he's peaceful, nothing. And inside, I'm like, like wanting to scream, and I'm keeping it in to not destroy. So this has a fine line of also like being in your truth, being connected to your power. But again, just having this like discernment before you speak, right? Like this intention before you speak. Is that true? Is that necessary? Will that give me the end goal that I want? Essentially, and this is mostly for relationships, it's like, what is the end goal here? I want my man to look at me in the eyes, to desire me. I want us to connect. I want us to spend time together. I want us to get closer. So it's like, if this is what I want, then let me speak something that's going to evoke that as a response, because cause and effect. So if you then go into this like, you've been, you, then yeah, defense, 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 defense. If it feels scary to be vulnerable, to express our feelings, why would we be vulnerable with our bodies? Right. Right. This is how disconnected though we are, again, from our womb, from our pussy, from our bodies. So again, I'm not going to read this whole slide because I feel like that's kind of recapping, and I will share these slides with you, but wounded feminine versus healthy embodied feminine. Again, wounded, it's all the things that we're doing that is not in our power. Being a woman is not about becoming more desirable. It's about becoming more connected to your body, to your truth, to your intuition, to your standards and your desires. Remember, we don't get what we want, we get what we tolerate. To your softness, your voice, to God, you can call it universe, source, to life itself. So being a woman, becoming more of a woman is not about how to get a man. Because again, I feel like from childhood, my mom was like, so did you make a boyfriend at school? Da, 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 da. So it was always about boys. It was always a teenager. It was always about which guys, what flirt, what this, what that, who's your crush? Man, 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 man. If I could tell one thing to my younger self is, girl, build yourself before, become sovereign, walk into your mission, find your path. And from that place, from being so whole, so sure of who you are, so sure that you're so in alignment with yourself, with your life, the vibrational match that you'll attract will be a man connected to something greater, walking on his mission, knowing who he is. Because I mean, you can do what I did, like, you're wounded and then you get a match to that, and then you learn in relationships. But I feel like it's kind of like I would be so much further financially. That's the reason why I was telling you about the wall and the plug. I heard a very financially successful woman lately say that if you want to quantum leap your finances as a woman, go celibate. Don't open your body to men, and don't open your field to men. They suck our life force energy. Men are gifted to be in our radiance, to be in our presence. I used to go on a date with a guy that would invite me for dinner and feel bad because he was paying dinner. I was like, God, what am I going to do for them now? And it's like, no, you know how we fucking pay with our beauty, with our radiance. You know how much that costs? You know how much this costs? How much time it took me an hour to do my hair? Like, you know, this is what we pay with. They're lucky to be in our presence. This is how we have to really, and this is not like necessarily capital T truth, but this is how you have to think so that, and when you're on a date and you're across the table and you keep thinking, oh, does he like me? Oh, was he thinking? Is he enjoying himself? Blah, blah. Fuck that. Your power at this moment, your energy is outside of you. You're directed your energy outwards to him. No, you circle that energy back to you. How do I feel? How do I feel in this person's presence? What do I like? What do I don't like? It's about you, babe. Okay? Because for most of my life, it was always about them. Everybody about everything about them, but no more. So this is really about reconnecting to yourself and returning to yourself. So the sacredness of women coming together, and this is why I love women's spaces so much. It's so powerful to heal our sister wounds because listen, women, I want you to remember a candle doesn't lose its light by lighting up another candle. This is true sisterhood. This is true womanhood. We're not here to be jealous and compare, and one woman being sexy or being expressed or being successful doesn't take anything from you. Nothing. If anything, if you feel envy or jealousy towards someone, she's expressing something, she's experiencing something that you yearn to experience for yourself. That's it. So it's an invitation. When you feel something towards a woman like wow, or just envy or jealousy or whatever it would be, or like this jealous feelings or whatever, it's simply a desire of yours to experience that. So go ahead. What are you going to do with that desire now? Are you going to take action in alignment towards that? Or are you just going to keep feeling that every time there's a beautiful woman, or every time there's a woman in shape, or every time there's a woman with a lot of money? It's like, what are we going to do with this? It's an invitation when we feel those feelings. So no more competing with other women. This is how patriarchy benefited from us being disconnected and being against ourselves as women. So a healed woman, heal woman, and an empowered woman, empower woman. So that's what we're here now to do for one another. And we were never meant to compete with one another. We were always here to remind each other of our divinity, to remind each other of our gifts. So this new moon is also a very good opportunity to plant new seeds today of how do I want to be around other women, and new standards for yourself, new ways of loving yourself, new ways of being loved, new ways of relating to your body, to your voice, to your truth. We're not forcing, we're not pushing, we're embodying, we're feeling. So again, healing is a return to wholeness, is a return to yourself. It's safety, it's sovereignty, it's being grounded in your body, in Mother Nature. It's being in your radiance as a woman is our gift. Self-led. Self-led until you feel like you have a partner in your life that, holy shit, I better jump on his train because his train is going somewhere I want to go that I feel me, myself, and I couldn't necessarily go. That's the kind of relationship you want to jump on. You want to keep your heart wide open and you want to stay discerning. So remember, your future daughter is watching. ¿Qué pasó? Okay, one second. The puppy, come here. She cannot jump on the couch yet. Okay. So your future daughter is watching, even if it's the little girl inside of you. And so now, ladies, this is essentially my conclusion, which I will open for Q&As. And I, of course, want to hear like, oh, ouch, scratch my face, baby girl. I want to open to Q&As. I want to know like what you loved most about all of this. But I just wanted to invite you essentially as women, just see yourself as a garden. Whatever I water will grow. Do I water resentment, fear, self-abandonment, toxic love, chaos? Because that's what's going to grow. Or are you watering peace, self-respect, devotion? If you want a man devoting himself to you, you got to devote yourself to yourself. That starts with that. Again, you get the match of where you're at with yourself in a partner. So remember that your feminine expression won't bloom in chaos. She's going to bloom in safety. And also remember that the more you shine bright, the more you share your successes, the more you share your beauty, the more you share your wins, you're giving full permission, your full, your fullness. You're gonna break my thing. Your fullness is permission to other women to then go ahead and bloom and do it for themselves. So I just wanted to invite you today, essentially, that if you loved the things that you listened to today's part, is requested to now stop transcriptions. So yeah, if you've loved what you heard today and you'd love to dive deeper into this work, because of course it's nice to receive all this information, it's nice to hear about all of this, but unfortunately, it's not something that you can just receive in 90 minutes and be like, okay, now I'm transformed and I'm going to be like this forever. Like I said, it's easier said than done, but the good news is the practices are so much simple. It's all about simplicity and it's all about what you can actually apply. And it's also all about integration because it takes time for, it's like we receive something and then it takes time for it to dissolve and integrate and digest and become you. So I just wanted to quickly invite you into my world because obviously I love all of you. I know most of you already, but for you watching the replay, I literally have offers ranging from $33 to 5K, depending if we work together one-on-one, depending on the length of times. But I just want you to know that in exactly 1 month, mid-June, if you like these like women container, the sisterhood vibes, I will have a women's group starting on the next new moon. So it's exactly in 30 days from now. And I made it very affordable. Again, it's 1,888 if you pay in full. There's installments available, but there will be 10 spaces for 10 women. And essentially, it's a journey of 8 weeks together that I bring you from root to crown. Now, again, we don't skip any pieces. We go deeper into, because again, there could be a book on each of these subjects, but we go deeper into all of that. So, and then there's practices, obviously, and then there's real life integration. And the beauty of healing in sisterhood, in womanhood, again, in group spaces is very, very potent. Of course, if you're someone who wants more of a personalized approach, a personalized guidance, and you don't want noise, you don't feel social right now, maybe the route of one-on-one is better. But I really, really, my favorite work has been group coaching forever. And the only reason I had stopped doing group coaching was because motherhood sucked my life, sucked my life force energy out of me. So now that I'm in Peru, I have the help from my son's dad. I have more spaciousness. I have more time. I get to hold a group space again, and it will be truly magical. And the good news is because you might think, yeah, but it only starts in 1 month. Like, what if I want to start something before that? As soon as you sign up for the group, you receive access to all like my Fit Fam method. So you get to dive into your body, your habits. Again, this is your foundation. Foundational. This is superficial. Like your body is like baseline. Then after that, we go, oh boy. Okay, the puppy pressed my laptop. After that, we go deeper, but also you get access right away to this like become her, the identity. That would be such a good practice to do today, ladies, to be honest, to like step into, get clear into that next level identity. And I have the vision board to do there and all the guidance, all the tools. So again, if ever you would be to join the group, I would send you all of these resources right now as soon as you join. That way you have a month to already like start right now, start stepping into that most empowered this puppy, that most empowered version of you. So yeah, that's my invitation. Other than that, please share your biggest takeaway. I have loved, Glenda says, and any questions you have, I'm here to answer any questions. I have loved everything. This has been so empowering. Really needed this as I come out of a toxic relationship. Oof, Glenda. This came at the right time for me. Thank you. I'm so glad to hear this. And girls, I've mastered the art of breakups personally. Like I was so good at like I remember that I did a master class on that, like turn your breakup into your biggest glow up or something like that. Because the truth, babes, is that after a relationship, like again, that's why right now, personally, I'm building my business, I'm building my finances, I'm building myself. I don't even want a man. I don't even want to date. I don't even want to see what's out there. I don't even want any man to have any ounce of my energy. It's like it's all going to me and to my projects and to my desires and my dreams. So the truth is, when you share that with a man, again, is it benefiting you? Like, so now see your breakup as your biggest glow up of like, oh my God, I'm regaining so much energy for myself. It was like sucking the life out of me, especially toxic relationships. God. But they do leave residue and there is some work to do. So Glenda, if ever, also you ladies, if ever any of you want to book a call with me, it's completely free. We just have a powerful conversation and then you can make an aligned decision from there. So again, there's no like obligations or anything. I just believe in alignment. But um, how can we differentiate a trauma bond and just needing to work on ourselves? Truly, your nervous system is going to tell you. So just kind of the things like I said, like the right man won't trigger like you know the difference when like you're around a man and like you like his presence, but for example, you're not like destabilized by you're not like super self-conscious. Like there's certain men that makes you super self-conscious suddenly, or you're like, oh my God. So the right man won't destabilize you, you know? And this is definitely deeper work, Ari, to address. Like there's it's a whole, essentially, that would be a whole call, like trauma bond versus sacred love and how to differentiate. But it's also looking at your patterns in relationships and looking at the kind of mans, looking at so your parents growing up or like the caretakers that you had growing up, like what kind of dynamics they had. Yeah, going through my first breakup, it's very hard. So glad I came across your content, Alyssa. Yay. Oh, Meg, you're the best coach. I love you. I love you so much, you all. Thank you so much for being here. Wow, so you stayed with me for 2 hours. I'm so grateful for your time, your energy. I know this was a lot, like, but I'm sure there was a lot of valuable pieces that again, maybe it's things that you've heard, maybe, but sometimes said in a different way, said by someone else land differently. So, my goddesses, my beauties, I hope to invite you deeper into my world. But if that was our only interaction, I'm so happy that I got these 2 hours with you and that you got value out of it. So, I wish you a beautiful weekend, beautiful Saturday. You know where to find me. You just DM me on Instagram. Um, and the same link in which you book that call, that Zoom, you can book a call with me from that same link. Like it's at the bottom. The masterclass was at the top, that was at the bottom. And if ever literally you're like, I wish I could do some coaching and mentoring and investing in myself, but I'm not in that position financially, if you can just get the $33 product that I have, which is the Become Her, very potent exercise activity to do, especially this weekend while you're basking into this Taurus new moon energy. Connect to your desires, connect to your higher self, step into her. That's $33. That's nothing, you know? And then if you're not physically in your body where you want to be, like if you're not optimal, if you're not feeling super healthy, if you're not feeling sexy, then please get, I mean, if, and I'm speaking, if you're not going to join the group or if you're not going to do one-on-one coaching with me, then at least get these. I made these low-cost products that are worth way more than what they're worth. And at the end of the day, ladies, it's the cost. What is the cost? Is the cost of what you pay for, or is the cost of staying the same? What is the biggest cost? You know, staying in your mud, staying in your, but see how my throat is okay now? Ladies, I thought I was gonna have to cancel this masterclass because I couldn't speak this morning. So again, that was just my nervous system, like, no, like, let's stay small, let's not show up, let's not share what we have to share. That's scary. The cost of inaction is much greater. That's right, Ari. So again, I made these offers at a very affordable price because I was like, there won't be any excuses. And if you make that step towards that level of you, it's just going to be the beginning of your new life, the beginning of the new you, the beginning of anything greater, everything greater. I wouldn't have spent my time and energy doing this if it wouldn't be worth it, you know? And if there's one thing I would tell my younger self as well, like my teenager self, like I wish as a teenager, because again, I didn't have a business mom. I had an employee mom. So I didn't have like the entrepreneurial mindset around me. Again, my friends were all, they're not my friends anymore, because again, the more I stepped into the real version of me, the more everything fell, everything died, everything was just left behind because I was like, wow, none of that was the real me. None of that was my soul, my spirit, my mission on this earth, my vocation. It was kind of all my conditioning, my programming, what I was just grown into. But as soon as I actually, this is when I went to Tulum for me, that I traveled alone and then I discovered myself. And then from there, you attract things that are really meant for you. And then you just keep developing and developing, and, or I guess remembering and remembering more who you truly are at the core of your truth. But one thing I would tell my younger self is invest in mentorship, girl. Like, who's someone that has something that you want? Who's someone who lives the life that you want? Who's someone that is embodying something? Who's a girl that you like her energy? Because also, when you put yourself in someone's energy, there's a transmission, there's an exchange of energy. So, our nervous systems interact. So again, do you feel inspired after being with someone? Be around people that make you feel like sunshine more. Are you always the biggest one in the room? Are you always the smartest one, the best one, the whatever? No, you don't want that. Put yourself in rooms where you feel the smallest. Put yourself in an environment where you feel uncomfortable. Because again, it's like your nervous system is like, "Ugh." But that obviously your conscious mind knows this is for my greater good. This is for my next level. I know that. And just trust that again, your nervous system will want to protect you, will want you to stay fat, stay broke, stay single, instead of actually stepping into what you actually want. Because there's always going to be fear of change, but change is the only constant thing in this universe. So embrace change and step into the change. And there's always a win or learn. There's not a win or lose. There's no losing. There's no failures. There's only lessons, only growth. We grow so much more faster with lessons, with experiences versus just receiving, and you're like, ah. You grow very, very much, very exponentially when you go through hard times, when you go through challenges. So I love you all. I'll stop talking now because I could keep talking for all day. And I wish you a beautiful weekend. Sending you so much love.